Some people have been in a relationship since fifth grade.
Yeah, I remember.
People literally will be in a relationship their whole entire life, and it does kind of show a sign of like you're not confident and comfortable with being alone and being with yourself.
Welcome back, Eldo Fun. It's your boy Chief Neef.
It's your boy Jalen.
Your boy Twisty J.
And we're back with another episode where the conversations are real,
raw,
and uncut.
Hey Jay, what we got on the agenda today?
Man, we just came back from church.
Ooh, shout out to TLR.
Shout out to TLR, the living room up in Buckhead Church. It was a good service.
It was.
Pastor Matt, I believe his name is. Pastor Matt. He gave a real good service today. We felt like we should talk about it because we can really relate to it.
Yeah.
So basically, the sermon is, you kind of want to break down sermon? It was like RIZZ, because you know a little bit better.
RIZZ, Roses, and Love.
Love, yeah. RIZZ, Roses, and Love, which kind of equates to what? Sex, love.
Sex, dating, and love or relationships.
Yeah, love or relationships, which is really deep because I feel like especially at our age, we're kind of getting into that relationship scene, that dating scene.
Yeah, and what I liked about what he was talking about was just the perspective of dating.
Yeah.
Because just in the current generation now, like, we see it on social media. We see a portrait of how dating is supposed to go on social media. We see it in our homes. So like he just said, like, you think of it like in like the way of glasses are. There's different lenses for different people, but we all can't use the same lens.
Prescription.
Everybody
has different prescriptions.
Exactly.
And basically what he was meaning by that, like you say, because everybody has different visions, different eyesight, what your love is, how you need to be loved, may be different from my type of love. How I value love, what I need for love, and you. We all have different versions of that. Yeah. So I guess with saying that, what is something that you would say was the biggest part of that sermon that you took away?
Before we get into that, I want to ask a question first.
Okay.
So I want to know, is there a real right way to date? Like, is there like one way that you should date?
No. Because it goes back to like everybody's relationship is going to be different. You have to do whatever is right for your relationship. It goes back to like even the dumb arguments you see on social media all the time. We always have that 80-20, 0-100. Was it 50-50?
Yeah.
But at the end of the damn day, some points, and I love this, and I saw this the other day, some points, the man may have to be the 0 and the girl may have to be the 100, and the girl may have to, and the man may have to be 100 and the girl may have to be 0. Or at some point, you may both have to be 50-50. It's all depending on whatever works for your relationship at the time. So I feel like there is no one way of dating. It's just dating to what fits both you and your partner.
Facts. And I want to say something like, it's like, you can't, I wouldn't say there's one way, but there's ways to date in the right direction, in the sense of there's a way that you should be respecting your partner. There's a way that you should be a loving and selfless person. You know what I'm saying? There's characteristics of the right way to date, but there's no straight path to date.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I was about to say there are certain things that I feel like every relationship should have.
Facts.
Like what?
Like communication, for instance. I don't care who you are. Yeah, man and woman, whatever the case, communication has always got to be there.
I agree.
You gotta. I'm not gonna say that one.
Say it.
But I was gonna say, okay, if you're Christian, I feel like God should be in your relationship.
Of course, I agree with that.
Or you should believe in something.
Some type of religious faith.
Let's be real with ourselves. Could you be with somebody that's a different religion than you?
No,
I couldn't.
You won't be able to see the same thing.
And let me say this: the reason why we say stuff like this is because not to discredit any other like religion, but it's just the fact of when you grow up on certain values and certain things, there's like when you date someone, there's got to be certain conversations. And me, I know what I grew up on. I know the Lord that I serve and stuff like that. That's my religion. That's my way. And so when it comes to those paths, I also think about like when you raise kids.
That's why
I'm not like you know what I'm saying? Like
that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, and that's just the way I am, and it's all respect to other religions, but it's just a comfortability thing. It's a preference.
Yeah, I totally agree. I honestly do feel like though, and that's the reason why social media is starting to get real repetitive to me when it comes about relationship, because somebody's putting out their opinion of how they think a relationship should be. Yeah. And it's kind of crazy to me that you're putting out your opinion about it, and then everybody goes ahead and they argue about it, because there's no right way to have a relationship at the end of the day. It's whatever works for you. You may have a relationship where you're okay with sleeping in separate beds. That's an argument that's on social media. Some couples like to sleep in separate beds.
Sometimes you need that. Sometimes you need that.
I ain't gonna hold you. There's some people that may need to sleep in separate beds. Not only because of, you don't love the person, whatever, but maybe that person snores so much that you can't even sleep at night and you annoyed, but you still love them. Yeah. So it's like, okay, well, I guess you gotta sleep in the same. Not saying that that's something for me. Me personally, I want you in the bed next to me. Yeah. But I'm not going to down your relationship now because you like to sleep in a separate bed. Yeah. But social media, because that one person put that opinion out there, now it brings everybody into the conversation being like, no, your relationship is wrong. You should be sleeping in the same room as your girl, yada, yada, yada. And it's just like, I feel like there is no right way of a relationship. It's whatever works best for you.
So with you saying the right way for relationships, right? Now, I like one key thing that I took away from the message is that there's no, like, when it comes to you thinking about your ideal person, your right person, right? Are you someone that right person would like or actually love or respect or actually go after? And I did some self-reflecting on that, and we even talked about it earlier before we even went to church that we want to touch on this. I always thought about, like, there's always something you need to improve on. You know what I'm saying? Like, what I love about life is it's a continuous journey of growth, and like you learn more about yourself, you add more value to you. So it's like currently right now, of course not. I'm still growing. I'm still immature in certain things. Even through the podcast, like there's old opinions I've had to where like now like I've changed and I've learned that was wrong. So it's like
it's actually crazy to think about. Like there's some episodes I've watched. I'm like, now my opinion is completely.
I was
different.
so ignorant back then.
I was only a year.
Yes, it's only a year.
And I think that's the craziest thing is the time. You'd be like, your life can change in a year, bro.
Yeah,
just 1 year, your whole your brain can just change real quick.
But okay, now I'm gonna play. I hate to say this, but I'm gonna play devil's advocate. We talking about church, but I said devil's advocate, but whatever. I'm gonna play devil's advocate for a minute. I'm playing devil's advocate for a minute because life is a continuous growth and a continuous journey, right? So because I'm in a continuous journey with my life, does that mean that I should not settle down for love until I'm ready for that? You feel me? Like I feel like that. Yes, you should be growing. Okay, let me take a step back a little bit. The main point of the message that I got from it was that in order to be able to have good love and a good relationship with somebody, you cannot be dependent on that person to make you happy. Or they always say, oh, you have to bring 50 to a relationship, and the other person has to bring 50 to a relationship.
It should be 100.
100. You need to bring your full capacity, yourself fix, you content with yourself into a relationship, and that person should be content with themselves.
2 holes into one.
Yeah. But just like what you said, we're always a continuous evolving people. So at the end of the day, if I'm continuously evolving, I'm always going to have some self-doubt about myself. I'm always going to have some type of like not 100% with me. So that's why I also do kind of feel a little bit like, okay, it gets a little iffy with that conversation because it's like, because I'm not 100% with myself, does that mean I'm not entitled to love? Am I not entitled to a relationship?
Josh, did you have something to say to that?
It was just about the whole coming in 100. I was just about to be like, I feel like I was just gonna say like I feel like a lot of people don't come in 100 because like I think he said it in the message. He was just like a lot of people rush into relationships and they're not completely healed, right? So you're trying to go into something, but you got trust issues. Oh, the last person did me this way, so I'm gonna treat you that way because of what the last person did. And I feel like a lot of people can't be 100 in a relationship if they're both not 100% healed. Yeah, if that makes sense from the last relationship.
You're bringing your old baggage into a new thing, and it's stuff like that to where it's like, okay, let me first talk about the right person thing, right? Like about how do you know when and stuff like that. But I feel like you kind of know when you like when you're right and you're ready to go back into that path. Because think about it, it's like there's certain values, and when you go through all the relationships, like because that was one thing that he said too. Another key point that he said was, you've been in all these relationships, all these failed relationships, and everybody loves to point at the other person, but they never point at themselves and look within. So when you look at that common theme of those breakups and those certain situations, you could kind of piece out certain things that you've done and you contributed that you can reflect on and improve on. So I'd say like stuff like that, and just the fact of you also just get that feeling of like, okay, I could actually go out and love that right person. Because when I think of my dream woman, if you want to say like that, like it's someone that like is kind, loving, selfless, stuff like that. Like just those qualities that I've seen in, like you know what I'm saying, those qualities I've seen in my mother, stuff like that. And I know myself, like I was like when he said that verse of love is kind, love it does not boast, it's selfless and all that stuff. It does not hold on to anger and all that. Yeah. Like there's a lot of things that I even like, and he said replace your name with love. Yeah. And there was a lot of things in there that I was like, honestly, there's stuff that I need to work on, like not holding on to grudges. I was someone that never really held on to grudges. But I've noticed in the past like 2 years, the past couple of years, I've held on to certain grudges that like not only hindered those relationships, but it's also hindered other relationships just because the fact of I'm angry at that time and I lash out at certain moments. I had bad attitudes and stuff like that.
I think that's so toxic to hold on to grudges, bro. It's like you're holding like a devil, like a demon inside of you, bro.
It is.
It's so bad. Like it's you're trying to prove something, but you messing yourself up. I feel like you getting the worst part out of the situation.
But don't the other part like that somebody always secretly has that in them?
I feel like grudges?
I feel like we all secretly sometimes have it in us. I feel like it's bad that like it can, like what you said, to the point where like, okay, like I make everything about my life about this grudge and this person and ending them and revenge and envy and spite. And that's when to me, I'm just like, okay, this is crazy. But I also feel like that, okay, let me take the word away, grudge. I feel like we all have that hurt in us. And then that hurt makes it come into a grudge.
We
need to learn how to let go of that hurt.
You can let that hurt go.
Yeah. I feel like though, I like what you said that you're working on grudge. Me, what he said was I need to work on is patience. I have terrible patience. I have terrible patience with people, terrible patience with time. I have terrible patience with I have terrible patience when I cook. Like when I'm cooking, I'm like, damn, why is this shit taking so long? Let me turn up the heat. Like, I have terrible patience. Yeah. Like when he said that, I tried to replace my name with that. It's like Jalen is not patient. Like it needs to be fixed. That's something that I need to fix as well. And another thing also that I loved about the conversation was he was saying that before you get into a relationship, you need to love yourself and you need to learn that that person is not going to fill a void in you. You know what I'm saying? That person, your wife, your girlfriend, fiance, boyfriend, whatever, they're never going to be the person that is there to, okay, they may help you feel better, but at the end of the day, the only person that can ever make you feel good and feel better about yourself is you. Yep. And in order to get into a relationship and to actually really, really, truly have a good relationship with somebody, you have to be comfortable and confident in yourself in knowing that, okay, if this person's gone, I'm okay. And that's, I feel like, a lot of things that people miss. Like he said, some people have been in a relationship since fifth grade.
Yeah, I remember.
People literally will be in a relationship their whole entire life. And it does kind of show a sign of like, you're not confident and comfortable with being alone and being with yourself. Yep. And everybody needs to get to a point in their life where you're comfortable and confident with being by yourself. And I feel like I'm comfortable with being by myself. But when I say I'm always the most confident in myself, no. And that's what I need to learn.
I had took one of the, I think right after he said that, the question was, are you dateable? Mm-hmm. That was the question. It was like,
real,
are you
bro.
dateable? And I think that was my main takeaway from the message. He was like, are you dateable? And then in my head, like Nefe said, like you during the message, sometimes you like self-reflect. And I would be like, that was the first thing that came to my head was would I date myself almost? Mm-hmm. And I think that's the thing that I was like,
I'll be honest, no.
I probably wouldn't. Yeah. But that's something that I would want to work on. Like, I want to make myself dateable before somebody else wants to date me. Mm-hmm. That's the main thing. Because if you're not gonna date yourself, how can somebody else want to date you?
Yeah, I agree.
And it just all comes to like mentality and like he would said, desperate love is dangerous love, right?
Yeah. Yes.
And let's be honest, I replaced the word desperate with lust. Because there's like, come on now, like we're not naive. Like in college, it's mostly lust dating. Like it's mostly lustful dating.
I say desperate too, though.
Lustful and desperate because some people also don't have that they need someone there to give them constant reassurance.
Or your friend, like what he said, you seen your friends out and about on Valentine's Day. I ain't gonna hold you. I felt a little lonely on Valentine's Day. Valentine's was definitely the worst day, as Future said. Valentine's Day is the worst day. Like, I ain't gonna hold you. It was nice to see like guys doing all that for their girls. I'm just like, well, damn, here I am. Going to work, clocking in.
Like, I didn't even have my sheets washed that day. I literally was just sleeping on top of my bed. I was so lonely and cold. It was a rough night, man.
No, but it's serious. It's like desperate love, because it's true. When you see your friends and stuff like that in a relationship, it does kind of make you be like, well, damn, like, am I not entitled to love? Can I not have love?
You know what I love about this?
He said too. Are you entitled? He said everyone's entitled to that love, but you just got to you have to make yourself, like, you got to worry about yourself.
You got to surf your own time, bro. And what I love about this is like, I've never been in a relationship. Like I've told you this multiple times. But what I love about it is like, I'm someone that I don't want to be in a relationship and ever have to deal with a breakup, because I never dealt with that. Like, I want to be a one and done type nigga. Mm-hmm. And when it comes down to it, like I said earlier, like, I've just been thinking about it lately, like, I need to work on this, I need to work on that, just constantly self-improve. Because one thing that I told myself, I think it was around like from the earliest days, like maybe 4th grade, 5th grade, I saw, I can't remember who died. It was someone really impactful. And I was like, bro, I want to be known as the dopest person that someone's ever encountered. And what is that entitled? That's someone that's loving, that's someone that's kind, like just all those good traits. Mm-hmm. And I think I exemplify some good traits, yes, but there's a lot of stuff that I got to work on. Mm-hmm. And that's what I love about this journey of life. Like I said, like, you're consistently learning, consistently bettering yourself to become someone that's dateable, become someone that's worthy of that dream person. Because we all do want that love at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, though, what's the point of getting that dream person and stuff like that, and it's not lasting long? Or you get someone that's like a really good fit for you, but at the same time, you're the problem. Mm-hmm. And you don't see that until it's too late. Because there's even people like Shannon Sharp. He said that he regrets not being married earlier in his career and stuff like that, because football was the number one thing in his life, and he was so obsessed about that stuff, and he wasn't worried about the actual things that like generally matter. Because like he said that he got to the top of the world, but there's no one to share it with.
Or did y'all? I know y'all ain't watch it, but I sent y'all. Sorry, I sent y'all a TikTok. Y'all saw the Alexander the Great TikTok I sent y'all?
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that before you.
It's so true.
Yeah,
you're not. Yes, we work so hard, and we want all the riches and the fruits of our labor. But at the end of the day, when you die, that shit is not coming with you.
It's not.
The money's not coming with you. The doctors ain't, like, basically Alexander the Great, he was like, when he died, he wanted like to be buried with the stuff he had, his hand out, the doctors carrying his casket, because at the end of the day, the doctors can't help him, revive him back to life. His hand, like, I can't remember what the hand was meant for, but like his riches, he was just spreading it all out in the streets and stuff like that, because you can't go with it. Like, all this stuff, yes, is great here on earth, but at the end of the day, it's not forever.
Oh, you leave empty-handed.
Oh yeah, you leave empty-handed.
Ooh,
is that not crazy? You leave empty-handed. Like, that is a word.
You know what what you said about the riches stuff? Like, I was really thinking about it in church, and this is just like a personal thing. Mm-hmm. But currently right now is probably the lowest financially, and like just like everything for my family right now, right? Mm-hmm. Just because of the stuff that we're going in. And I was thinking about, it's like, this is also like one of the closest periods I've been with my family in a long time. And I noticed it from before we moved into like the house that y'all know that I lived in to where we're at like financially now. And like stuff like that before we had our come up. We was happier when we had no money, had less money than when we had money. Mm-hmm. And it's just something that's so apparent to me. That's why whenever people like ask me about certain things and stuff like that, like, yeah, okay, I want to earn money, but it's for certain, like, I do it for a certain reason. Mm-hmm. I'm not doing it because, I just want to have a whole bunch of money in the world. But no, I want to do it to take care of my people, make sure that they're cool. But at the same time, along the way, I'm also with my people. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because God forbid I die tomorrow. First of all, I ain't earned no damn money, but what do I have? I have the memories and the impact that I've had on people, and that's real.
So I think the main thing is I think a lot of people don't have a personality and they don't have characteristics before they get money. And I think that's what really hurts, because when certain people, if you're a bad person without money, when you get money, you're gonna be a shitty person.
Yeah, it's
so I
amplified.
feel like it's very, very vital. Like all of us on this couch want to get paid off this podcast, right? But I feel like we have to build the right characteristics now, so that way when we do get that money, we're still considered the good, funny people the good last word that people always have known us as. Yeah. So I think it's like vital now to make sure that we're building the right characteristics and being the right people now.
And I feel like God has a funny way of always showing that. Like we always go through moments where it's like, ugh, why is it taking so long? Why aren't we paid yet? Why aren't we getting this many views yet? Why don't we have this many subscribers? You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I feel like we go through all these things because that struggle, when we actually get it, it's going to mean something to us. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's going to mean something to us.
And we'll be better people.
Better people.
Facts.
And we've learned more along the way.
Yeah.
We learned how to act with certain people. How we were, like we just talked about at the beginning of this podcast, our opinions were completely different.
Ignorant as fuck.
Ignorant as fuck. Like our conversations were very, very ignorant. The certain shit we said was so.
Yep. Mama, you're not going to see that.
Apologies for all the ignorant shit I said, y'all. Oh, God. Apologies. But yeah. Ignorant as fuck. What's it called? Some things that like we would say and like do whatever. I would not want to be portrayed as that person with money. So if I wouldn't want to be portrayed as that person with money, why would I want to be portrayed as that person broke? You know what I'm saying?
And that's why I love the definition of my name. And I literally, I'm gonna tattoo it on myself. But Ufuma Nefe means God brings peace before wealth. And I said this to y'all the other day, I'm pretty sure. Once you get that inner peace with yourself, and when I say the inner peace, I mean when you look in that mirror and you're content with the characteristic, the character, just the person that person is. I truly believe that that's when your desires and any dreams that you have will come true. Because I don't want to be on a platform like, okay, say 6 months ago our podcast blew up, we got signed and stuff like that. The platform that 6 months ago Nefe was. The mindset that he had, the ignorance that was in his head, I don't want that to be portrayed as who I am today. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm actually glad that I'm actually learning these things. I got to work on this stuff So now when we get to those platforms and stuff like that, we're more of an inspiration, not that's not what you're supposed to be. That's not how you're supposed to portray yourself. And I don't want to be on those pages like the Shade Room and people are like, oh, he's so ignorant. He doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Yeah. Like, I don't want to be portrayed as that. I want to be portrayed as something that's actually like a positive
being a good
role model, a positive role model.
So speaking of the ignorance and like the childish stuff. Yeah. So Matt gave us the verse of the day of the message today was 1 Corinthians 13:11. It was, when I was a child, I spoke as a child, I understood as a child, I thought as a child, but when I became a man, I put away childish things. And that was the verse. That was the verse of today. And I think like obviously that goes back to what you just said about the ignorance. You know, like when you're a child, you speak as a child, you talk as a child, you say childish things. But you know, like I feel like we're maturing as we go. Like a year,
we're not 20s now.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a little difference. You know, our conversations are a little bit more mature.
Exactly.
We still gonna party, but you know, he's a little bit.
Yeah, I get work door here and there, but
like last year, bro, we weren't going to church. But bro, I literally have been to every service since.
I love the living room, honestly.
December, I think. Yeah.
Okay, but also too, what I wanted to ask was, like you said, Nefe, God brings peace before wealth, and you gotta be happy and content with that person. When y'all look in the mirror, are y'all happy with yourselves? Would you say that you're becoming content with that person?
I'd say this, right? I'd say it's a yes and no, and I'll say why. It's a yes in the fact of I love the fact that I reckon I'm more open-minded and reflective now of who I am currently. Like in a sense of when people used to criticize me, I would sometimes take it personally and shut up, be like, oh, they don't know what they're talking about, or they don't know me for real. But the fact that I've developed the mindset of if someone tells you something, look at yourself before you actually even reject that idea, because they could be telling you the truth and they could be helping you out. Because the way the person I became today was literally just like off of advice of my homeboy Mike holding me accountable, my homeboy Nigel holding me accountable. Like when it comes to stuff like that, I'm actually grateful for it. But when it comes to like the guy that I want to be, no, and that's okay, because what am I? I'm 21. Like, I'm not, like some people don't become the man that they want to be until they're 45. I'm not gonna be them, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like I definitely I definitely have some room to grow, and I acknowledge that for sure.
What about you?
Yeah, I think mine is like I know my wrong. Like I know what I'm doing now. I feel like
You're conscious of it.
before I wasn't. I was more just doing stuff. Like I'm just doing it, no purpose behind it, just doing it, whatever. But now I know my rights and my wrongs, and I know what is right and what is wrong. So I think the growth, there's still, how do I say it? Like I can see a finish line, but I'm just like taking the little steps to make sure that I'm doing everything right, making sure that I'm growing as a person. And I feel like I kind of like the journey a little bit rather than me trying to wake up tomorrow and try to be this perfect person. I know it's not going to happen. That's why I love tomorrow.
That's why I love tomorrow. You know, I listen to that song still.
That's why I love
What about
tomorrow.
you, Jay?
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I definitely feel like I think I'm kind of with both of y'all. If you would have asked me that question, like probably at the end of last year, I would have said absolutely not. I'm not gonna hold you. I feel like the beginning of this year, though, I don't know what it has been. I don't know what God has been doing to me, but I definitely feel like that I am, just like Josh said, like I'm slowly, like the finish line is there. I have more of a clear vision of what I want, what I'm trying to get to. And I feel like I'm slowly getting there. There's still like bumps in the roads, but even, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm gonna keep it 100 because we are real raw and uncut. I feel like a lot of my college experience, and this is scary to admit, but I feel like a lot of my college experience, I was depressed. You know what I'm saying? I had very, very sad moments and shit like that. And that also, like, it hurts me a little bit because I'm like, damn, did I really have like a good college experience? Like when I look back on it, I'm like, I think of like some like sad moments. I'm like, did I really just like waste like my 4 years being depressed? You know what I'm saying? Like it made me feel like, okay, was it worth it? You know? But I feel like it also was one of those things where I had to learn confidence in myself. You feel me? And I feel like recently I'm starting to get to a point where I'm becoming more content and confident with myself. And especially within these last couple of months. Like, I'm gonna be honest with y'all too. Y'all know I used to smoke a lot. I haven't really smoked much. I haven't smoked.
Bro. You know, I'm so proud of you too because I'll be honest with you.
I've been standing on my word with that. I have not smoked or drank, y'all. I've been real dry right now, and I'm proud of myself with that. And I'm like, that's something that like I need to like work on with me. And I definitely feel like that I am starting to become the man that I want to be. And just like what you said, God brings peace before wealth. I feel like he's starting to bring that peace in me. And I'm starting to feel like the wealth is coming with that peace.
And I'll be upfront with you too. It's like I was doing more stuff like that and back at Westmore. And the reason why I separated myself from that in the earlier stages is because the fact of like, it was, well, you know what I'm saying, my family dynamic. I just realized I got to get my ass up and go. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's time to go now. And I just realized that in the earlier point. I'm just glad that you came to that realization, like, now. And, like, you're working on yourself now. And we're all working on ourselves. I ain't even fucking perfect. But I like that. And what I like about my college friend group, first of all, I still talk to my dogs from day one to this day. And they always hold me accountable. But it's like we're all different people. And we've been together for such a short amount of time, but I've lived with y'all. Y'all literally seen so many aspects of my life. And it's like we're all growing together. We're going to TLR together. We're talking about, you know what I'm saying, like God together. We're just vibing together. Like I just appreciate the different perspectives and just the different stories. Because it just helps you, it reassures you in your own journey in a way. Because when you see people that are very like-minded going through the same stuff as you, yeah, it's cool to relate. But when there's people that actually have different avenues, but at the same time, y'all are still at the same spot, in the same, like, area, it's cool to see it in that aspect, too.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
I think it was a good message today, bro.
It was. I'm excited for next week. Next week, they talking about sex. So if you want to go to TLR. No, it's true, though. The first week is love. Next week is sex. And the third week is relationships.
Something like that.
Something like that. I don't know. But yeah, if y'all want to go to TLR, we're going to go ahead and shop them out because they are so good.
The living room at Buckhead Church. Y'all go tune in, man.
Yep. They have like the young adult nights on Mondays at 7:30 for like a bunch of college students.
Free food. Come on.
Yeah,
I know y'all broke. Stop. Put down the ramen packet. Go get you some food.
Yeah, they have sandwiches today. Some days they have Chick-fil-A. Some days, Papa John's. They got some good food up there. So yeah, definitely go and check them out for sure.
And you got no excuse. The bus pick up at GSU, pick up at Clark, pick up at all the colleges you can think of in Atlanta. They even do Uber reimbursement. So if you got to take an Uber from your house to Buckhead, they reimburse you.
Oh my Lord!
Yes.
Oh, wow! I didn't know that.
God is good.
I think Alyssa got there today.
Hey,
wait, for real?
Yeah, they'll reimburse you. They'll send you the money right back. They give you like a code, and the Uber's free for there and back.
Oh my goodness, I love TLR. Yep. TLR, they're doing really the Lord's work.
No, they are,
so you literally have no excuse.
Bro, and they literally have the resources. That's why I like it's a bigger church, of course. Yeah. But I actually like the community that they built. It's a good community, it's a good core, it's a good message for sure. Like even if church isn't your thing, like I just suggest trying, because even me growing up, like I was forced to go to church every Sunday, forced to dress up, stuff like that. But like just going on my own now, like I mess with it.
Or how about this? I'm gonna even take it a step further. Black people, it may not be what we're used to, because it's not what I'm used to.
It's not the Baptist church.
It's not. I grew up Baptist and Pentecostal. You know what I'm saying? Grew up with the hymns. I grew up with dressing nice.
There ain't no Marvin Sapp.
Not eating in the sanctuary. You know what I'm saying? Like you grew up with that type of traditions, but it's going to be a little different. I ain't gonna hold you. It's a mega church. We're gonna be honest. It's a mega church. I did not grow up with mega church, and I always was kind of I've always heard down talk about the mega church. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But honestly, I feel like if you do feel like you're getting a good word, just go and try. That's what I always tell people. Go and try to see if you like it. If you like it and you're getting a good message out of it, like we did, and we made a whole podcast episode out of it, then keep going, because that's all that it matters, that you're getting closer to God, that you're getting closer to your relationship with your inner self. Like I just said, we're working on our own selves. So as Black people, we're just so content with, oh no, if it's not like this, we cannot do that, or whatever. And I don't want that for everybody, because at the end of the day, it's all about growing your relationship with Christ, not about, oh, this church is better than the other church and this pastor is better than the other pastor. Whatever gets the word out and gets it to you is where you need to be at. So yeah,
I'm proud of us, bro. This is a good episode.
I'm
actually showing my mama this. It's gonna be the first episode she see out of my hands. So yeah, this is dope.
Yeah, shout out to mama. All right, but I'm Jalen. I've had the last word.